Now let's go to northeast Mali on the programme, where there is fresh evidence the Islamic State group is gaining ground. Reporting suggests its fighters are close to encircling the town of Menaka, having established a stronghold in the rural areas around the town. Well, our terrorism expert, Wasim Nasser, has been investigating what's going on, and he joins me now. Wasim, just what can you tell us, first of all, about what is happening on the ground at the moment?
Well, actually, we know that the dynamic that started more than a year ago in the Menaka region, from the border areas with Niger, all through the inside territory of Menaka, is being fulfilled by the Islamic State today. And we have a map to see that those are the latest important battles that happened in the area of Menaka between the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Because we have to know that with the failure of Tuareg factions to face the Islamic State in mid-2022, it was Al-Qaeda who put up a fight against the Islamic State. And today we know that they also failed, at least, not in all Mali, but at least in the Menaka region. And we know that the big battles of Tajalat, for example, and of Tel Alai, both had put too many men in the battle, and we have pictures also we can see that improvised explosive devices with cars, with suicide attackers were sent by Al-Qaeda against the Islamic State troops. And we know also the Islamic State troops were brought in from Niger and all the way also from Nigeria in order to be involved in those battles. And the head of JNIM, meaning Al-Qaeda and the Sahel, Iyad Aghali, was himself also involved in many battles in Menaka. What we can say today that the fact that they entered the town of Tiderman and Ikadewan, we know that they are encircling, at least by fire, if we can say, the town of Menaka, meaning that they can cut whatever roads they need to cut around the town of Menaka.
And presumably then civilians are just caught in the middle of this fighting between Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group.
Well, actually, civilians, since a year, they had to make a choice in the absence of the Malian state and the failure of other actors to choose sides, either with Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State. We saw them, for example, in Tamalat being attacked in 2022 by the Islamic State and then attacked by Al-Qaeda, and they left Tamalat and they got attacked by Malian regular forces accusing them of helping the jihadis. So civilians are caught in the middle. But the most important development that happened in Monday and Tuesday is that the Islamic State distributed leaflets in the town of Shikadewan and gathered people in Tiderman, and we have pictures of this, to tell them or to give them, to explain to them what's the dogma. And here are the leaflets that were distributed to the population of the Islamic State and what is its method. And what's important is that those same leaflets that we see here in green were distributed in Syria back in 2014, meaning that we are in a new phase of trying to gain the hearts and minds of the populations after confirming their superiority over other factions and over Al-Qaeda. So the phase of massacres that happened in 2022 is maybe coming to an end, and now they are trying to govern those areas. I got witnesses from Ikadewan saying that this time they chose the people that they killed, they chose the houses that they burned, and they didn't just kill everyone and burn the whole villages. And even 2 youngsters were even given back their money when they complained about being robbed of their money by jihadis of Islamic State militants who entered Ikadewan. So we are in a new phase where they are trying to govern and to gain hearts and minds of local Tuareg and Arab populations.
Okay, so the Islamic State group is trying to govern this part of northeastern Mali. And you said, at the beginning there, this in the absence of the Malian state. So I'm sure there are people out there watching saying, well, look, where is the Malian army? And also, where are Wagner, the Russian mercenaries that we know are also fighting in Mali, supposed to be pushing those jihadists out?
Well, they are not. They are not. If we can see maybe the map again, we know that the Malian troops are present in Menaka, inside the town of Menaka, with Wagner operatives. Here we see Menaka in blue. And they are also present in Tessit, Wagner operatives and the Malian army, but they do not go out of those towns. Even the military barracks of Tessit were attacked in a very complex way by the Islamic State lately, and the Islamic State stayed just 20 kilometers away from the town. So they do not go out of Menaka, they do not go out of Tessit, and even all those big battles between jihadi factions, Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, happened under the eyes of the local government. They don't have the means. Even Wagner doesn't have the means. They are present there. Their only gain was political, was kicking out the French, but they have no military gains on the ground, neither in the center nor in the northern part of Mali. And even if we talk about the center and the fight is going in the periphery of the center in Ansongo, where we see Fulani populations on the side of the Islamic State and on the side of Al-Qaeda fighting each other, so we are way beyond ethnic grievances. And the Malian authorities are just watching and unable to fight those jihadi groups, knowing that jihadi factions, either Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State, profited from the aerial exclusion zone, which was imposed by Bamako by kicking out French Air Force and French Special Forces from the ground in Mali. So the safe haven that was created by the Islamic State, or that the Islamic State sought to create since March 2022, is today fulfilled.
Wasim Nasser, as always, thanks very much indeed for your analysis as to what is happening with those jihadist groups right now. Thank you.